Good evening, this is STV News. According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of China, at the Japan-China Foreign Ministers meeting held in Tokyo on the 24th, Foreign Minister Toshimitsu Motegi and China's State Councilor and Foreign Minister Wang Yi will establish a framework for bilateral talks on climate change countermeasures. Japan has a set goal of reducing greenhouse gas emissions to virtually zero by 2050, and China has set a goal of reducing carbon dioxide emissions to virtually zero by 1960 and hopes to make it a new forum for Japan-China cooperation. It also agreed to create a consultation on trade cooperation for food and agricultural and marine products. It was also confirmed that preparations for commemorative activities will be started toward the 50th anniversary of the normalization of diplomatic relations between Japan and China in 2010. Chief Cabinet Secretary Katsunobu Kato met with Chinese State Councilor and Foreign Minister Wang Yi during his visit to Japan for about 30 minutes at the Prime Minister's office. It seems that cooperation have been confirmed regarding the response to the new coronavirus, economic revitalization, and climate change issues. Under the immediate international situation, China and Japan can cooperate in a wide range of fields, Wang told reporters. It seems that they also exchanged opinions on the invasion of Chinese public vessels into the territory of the coast of Okinawa Prefecture and the Senkaku Islands. Mr. Wang insisted, there are various problems as a neighboring country, but we should deal with them appropriately based on an attitude of respect for each other. The Bank of Japan's October 25 Corporate Service Price Index was 104.2, down 0.6% year-on-year. The month-on-month increase was 0.1%. Excluding the consumption tax hike, it fell 0.6% year-on-year. It has been negative for 8 consecutive months, and the negative range has expanded from the previous month. By item, excluding consumption tax, accommodation service fell by 34.5% among various services. Prices rose in Hokkaido and Kyushu due to increased demand for accommodation due to tourism support project GOTO travel, due to the spread of new coronavirus infection, but prices in Kanto fell mainly in business hotels. Domestic air passenger transportation for transportation and mail fell by 5.3%. Advertising fell 3.4%. At the Tokyo Stock Exchange on the morning of 25th, a wide range of stocks are being bought, as the average of 30 U.S. Dow Jones Industrial averages on the previous day ended at the $30,000 level for the first time in history. The Nikkei stock average surged 535.65 yen from the previous day to 26,701.24 yen, the highest trading time since April 1991, the first time in about 29 years and 7 months since the burst of the bubble economy. U.S. stock rose on the 24th from the view that the transition to the next President-elect Biden will proceed smoothly. In the Tokyo market, major stocks such as bank, electronic parts, and automobiles are being bought from the view that Japanese stocks have become cheaper than U.S. stocks, bank securities. The yen exchange rate on the Tokyo Foreign Exchange Market on the 25th was 104.49 to 52 yen per dollar as of 9 a.m., which was 0.4 yen weaker and the dollar stronger than the previous day, 104.45 to 46 yen. At the dinner held at the hotel in Tokyo on the eve of the SAKURA wo MIRU Kai by former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's supporters, it was confirmed on the 25th that Mr. Abe and his surroundings had partially compensated for the expenses. It seems that the same explanation is given to Tokyo District Public Prosecutor's Office, which is investigating after the complaint is submitted. The Special Investigation Department interviewed Mr. Abie's first public secretary and local supporters multiple times at his discretion. We are investigating whether it is a violation of the Political Funds Control Act. The dinner party was hosted by the political organization Shinzo Abe Supporters Association, which has an office in Shimonoseki City, Yamaguchi Prefecture, and the membership fee was 5,000 yen per person. According to people familiar with the matter, the suspicion of compensation was from 2015 to last year, and Mr. Abe paid the hotel a total of over 8 million yen. There is a difference between the total cost of the dinner party stated in the statement prepared by the hotel and the membership fee collected from the participants. And the hotel also created a receipt showing that Mr. Abe paid the difference, and Mr. Abe said that he was handing it over. On the morning of the 25th, the House of Representatives Budget Committee was attended by Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga and related ministers for intensive deliberation. Yukio Edano, the representative of the Constitutional Democratic Party, is pursuing the issue of the eve of the SAKURA wo Mirukai, sponsored by the supporters of former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. He points out the suspicion that Mr. Abe has paid a part of the cause and asked the opinion of the Prime Minister, who has defended as a Chief Cabinet Secretary. He also demands that Mr. Abe invite the Diet. The suspension of the tourism support project GOTO Travel due to the spread of the new coronavirus infection will also be taken up, and compensation for travel agencies will be corrected. We also request explanations to the public regarding the status of infection in Japan. On the 25th, the government decided to double the subsidy at the time of purchase on the condition that it will be charged with renewable energy, such as sunlight, for the spread of electric vehicles. The amount of subsidy per vehicle will increase from the current maximum of 400,000 yen to 800,000 yen. Adjustments are being made to include related costs in the third supplementary budget for FY 2020. Based on the fact that Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga declared that domestic greenhouse gas emissions would be virtually zero by 1950, it was decided that it was necessary to further promote the spread of the electric vehicles that do not emit carbon dioxide. The Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare's expert organization, Advisory Board, chaired by Takagi Wakita, Director of the National Institute of Infectious Diseases, which advises on measures against the new coronavirus, held a meeting on the 24th. In some areas, the infection is spreading rapidly. If this situation continues, it may have a serious impact on the medical care provision system, etc. The lives that can be saved will not be saved, he said. At the meeting on his day, the estimated number of people effective reproduction number, the one infection person transfers on average is 1.30 as of the 5th, which exceed 1, which indicates the spread of infection nationwide. It was same level as 1.31 as of first announced at the previous meeting on the 19th. Estimates for each region as of the 7th were 1.15 in Hokkaido, 1.67 in Tokyo, 1.40 in Aichi, and 2.24 in Osaka. The number of newly infected people nationwide increased by 14,919 in the week leading up to the 23rd. The number of people increased more than doubled from 2 weeks ago, reaching the highest level ever. The Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry, and Fisheries announced on the 25th that the highly pathogenic bird flu outbreak occurred at a poultry farm in Minokata City, Fukuoka Prefecture. This is the 9th poultry farm in Japan this year, and the first outbreak outside of Kagawa Prefecture. According to Fukuoka Prefecture, 37 birds were dead when the poultry farm reported on the 24th, and the simple test by the prefecture confirmed positive bird flu. Genetic testing revealed a strong suspicion of high pathogenicity. The prefecture will slaughter about 93,500 feathers raised in this poultry farm. At around 11:20 a.m. on the 25th, there was an earthquake whose epicenter was in the southern part of Ibaraki Prefecture, and shaking with a seismic intensity of 3 was observed in Mito City and Saitama City. According to Japan Meteorological Agency, the depth of the epicenter is about 50 kilometers. The magnitude of the earthquake is estimated to be 4.3. And that's all for today. See you tomorrow for another news update.